Suplifters. Today I want to talk about analysis paralysis. So the concept of people who want to take on a certain endeavor, however they end up overanalyzing it and they never start. And I'm gonna start sharing you a story about a friend of mine. So I play, or should I say I played chess? Okay, let's say that I play chess. I am not an amazing player. I have hit a 1300 ELO on chess.com and a peak of 1700 on Lichess. I believe in the 10 minutes blitz or 5 minutes. I do not remember. I think 10 minutes. 10 minutes for sure. So these are my credentials for those who know. I am probably above average, but I am by no means a good player. The best in the world are around the 3000 on those sites. The very good players are around 2000 and I am like 1300. So you can understand that I do not know anything about chess really. However, I actually do like teaching. If you actually follow the channel a bit, you know that I enjoy sharing this kind of stuff, and it's the reason why I made a YouTube channel, in order to share this stuff and to talk about it with other people. And so this friend of mine watched the Queen's Gambit, and as many people did, thought, damn, chess actually looks fun, I want to try and learn to play chess. So he asked me to teach him, and I was like, yeah, sure, amazing. I already taught a lot of my friends to play, not play, but move the pieces, which is way different from playing chess. And you know, everybody kinda start playing casually, maybe a game every now and then, but it's fine, you know, the more people know about the game, the better it is for the game. And so this friend of mine, actually, he's a very analytical type of guy, you know. So when he does something, he really wants to do it well, which is a mentality that I appreciate. However, you will see very soon how we will fall under this fallacy of the overcomplication of stuff and the analysis paralysis. So just to give you some context, chess is a game that has three main stages: the opening, the middle game, and the end game, okay? The beginning of the game, so the beginning of the match, of the game, is already being solved, meaning that computers have calculated all of the positions possible and have determined what the best moves are on certain lines, this is how they're called, even to the 30th move, okay? So pro players remember 30 moves of that opening, and this is called theory. So I played with my friend, okay? What did I do? I simply taught him how the pieces move, the idea of controlling the center, which are all the basics of chess, okay? And at one point, I told him, okay, let's try playing a game, because it is a game and we should play it, because theory is okay, however we also want to play. And he basically said, yeah, okay, it's fine, let's play it, okay? So I take whites, he takes blacks, whites move first, I move, I play e4. For those who don't know, e4 is basically the pawn on e2 moves to e4. It is the most common move, however, that is the important thing. To which he replies, what do I do now? And I mean, it is the first move. I already talked to him about principles, so the idea of controlling the center with pieces. So if you understand this concept, you understand that there are at least 4 moves, which are the 2 central pawns, I'm gonna talk like this for people who are not familiar with chess, or moving on the knights, because the knights move in an L shape, and after their first move they do kinda control the center. And he asked me what he should do. I told him he should control the center. And he told me, yeah, but with which piece? And you also understand that if the idea of controlling the center is correct, all of these 4 moves are viable, which is in fact true. Every single one of those 4 moves result in an opening theory. However, as I said, I am bad at chess, really, so I do not know the theory of every single line. I do know some theory of what I play. I do not know the theory for every single black response. So I told him, with whatever you want, and he said, yeah, but what's better? And really, I couldn't really tell him anything. I said, I don't know, maybe copy what I said, okay? So I play d4, he's gonna play e5, so he puts the same pawn in front of me. I then move my knight, and again he asked me, what should I do? I told him, yeah, you should develop the pieces. And again, what's better? And I told me, I do not know. I told him I don't know what's better. And he told me, well, you should. I mean, yeah, I shouldn't actually. I don't know, you could move the other knight, because if you notice, my knight is attacking your pawn and you want to protect your pawn. So move the other knight. I'm not gonna keep repeating everything that happened, but pretty much I played by myself until like the 30th move, okay? So basically, every single move he asked me, yeah, but what should I do now? And he never tried. He never had like the quote-unquote balls of just saying, yeah, I'm gonna move this piece. Who cares if I go wrong? And at the 30th move, I told him, yeah, okay, and now we reach a certain point, which was an extremely bad point, because as I said, I played by myself, so I knew both the threats that I was kind of giving my opponent and both his threats to me. So I reached an extremely even points where everything was extremely balanced, and the position is extremely complicated, because even if you don't play chess, you understand that the more variables there are in an equation, the harder it is to solve, and chess is an equation with space introduced, which is even harder. So I told him, okay, listen, there is no point in playing like this. Either you do your own moves, or we can stop playing, because really you're not learning anything, and I am also not enjoying this, because if I wanted to play by myself, I would have played by myself, or actually I would have played online with other people, because if you play with yourself, you're studying theory. And to which he said, yeah, okay, let's try. And we basically finished the game, I won, and he was kind of bummed out, okay? And I asked him, yo, I mean, it's okay, it's your first game. And he told me, yeah, but you didn't tell me what to do. Yeah, of course I didn't tell you what to do. Of course I didn't. Because you are supposed to try and see what happens. And I'm gonna fast forward a bit to the story. So he basically kept kinda learning. I told him that he should do puzzles, and I told him that he should start playing online against other people. If you're scared about the time pressure, because as I told you there are 5 minutes game or 10 minutes game, maybe go and play the 30 minutes one, which is a lot of time. And to this day I believe that he never played online. He never played online. The only games he did were with his father on a real board, and his father didn't even know the rules, because he tried moving 2 pawns at the first move, so you understand the quote-unquote level. And the good stuff about playing online is that you cannot do illegal moves, because there are legal moves in chess, and I don't want to talk about it because that's not the point. However, you do understand that this friend of mine wanted to learn chess, but never wanted to play chess. So he basically wanted to study everything without ever playing chess. And there is a huge amount of information and feeling and understanding of the game that you lose if you only study theory, okay? So you can be as good as you want. If I gave you my king and a queen versus king, you can checkmate. Amazing. That is a skill that you should learn. But you cannot only learn those theoretical positions without learning how to play the game, okay? To give you an example related to lifting, it will be almost as if a dude watched my whole video on how to bench press. He then came into my gym and he started asking me even more questions, although I said pretty much everything I do know in that video. And once I tell him, honestly, I don't really know how you should feel when you're pressing the bar, I just do it, he would be mad that I wouldn't tell him how to do that. However, he should just go under the bar and push it and see how does he feel. Maybe he likes to think, I don't know, to push with his elbows because that gives him an extra edge. I have no idea. You should have your own feeling during your exercises. And there are some common ideas which are shareable among the most amount of people, okay? Like the ideas of thinking about your forearms as ropes during pulling exercises. Because if you pull and you think about pulling with your hands, you're gonna do this. However, if you pull with your elbows, you're gonna do this, which is the correct movement, because we're gonna train our backs in the majority of pulling movements. And so you do understand that there is a certain amount of trying in every single thing that you do, and you shouldn't really just stop yourself at learning everything about the thing without ever practicing it. I don't really want to sound like redundant, because I think I already talked enough about it. So the last point that I want to talk about is that nobody wants to do the thing, but everybody wants to learn how to do it. Meaning that in chess there isn't an exactly, let's say, fatigue, like physical fatigue. You will see that your brain will get fried after your first couple of games, and that is why it's hard, because there is pressure, you are playing against someone, so there is some sort of competition, and playing chess is, the first time, is harder than studying it. Because at the beginning you're gonna study easy stuff. It's like when you learn a new language. You're gonna learn how to greet someone, which is easy. You're not gonna learn how to talk about hypothetical scenarios of the past while talking about the future. Okay, that is gonna be way harder. However, at the same, like following the same logic in chess, it is harder to play a game, because playing a whole game of chess is way harder than learning how to checkmate with a queen and a king against the king. Okay, and people want to avoid this type of stress because it is in fact harder, and they want to stay in the comfortable side. Okay, so they do not want to play. I don't want to have the time pressure against an opponent that might think that I'm stupid if I lose. Nobody will. I don't want to do that, it's uncomfortable. I would rather sit here and pretend to learn how to play chess, and just go there and do my puzzles and study my theory, although you don't really need theory until you are like 1000 ELO on chess.com, because everything before is just principles. And what's the point of knowing theory if your opponent doesn't know theory? Because it's one thing of knowing, yeah, these are the 30 best moves. However, your opponent should also know the best moves. Because if he doesn't and he makes a mistake, you should know how to punish it. And people don't know how to punish it, guess what? So what's the point of really learning theory? Learn how to play chess. And that is the same for lifting. I do follow a couple of pro bodybuilders, and the questions that they get in the Q&As are so dumb, they are so stupid. And you can really understand that all of these are people who are basically trying to find that single magic thing that is gonna make training easier, that is gonna make them, I don't know, jump up in weight, that is gonna make them gain a lot of muscle, and that thing doesn't exist. Nothing is gonna make training easier. So, what are the questions that I am talking about? Is it better to do 3 sets of leg extensions or 4? And the real answer should be, depends. It depends of the rest of your program. Maybe you shouldn't even do leg extensions in the first place. And all of these extremely niche and specific questions that I know I said that I remember a lot, but I actually don't, and they're all pretty similar in concept. They all basically emit a lack of understanding about general programming, okay? It's as if these people never actually played chess, but actually asked how to, I don't know, how to do the, damn, I remember the name in my original language, how to checkmate with basically 2 bishops against the king, which is one of the hardest checkmates to do. And really, I played a lot of games. I played at least 4,000 games of chess, at least. I never got to an end game where I got both of my bishops against their king. And I never learned how to do it, because it's so rare that you only need it once you reach such a high level that those situations are gonna happen. So imagine if I wasted 5 hours on learning how to do the checkmate instead of spending 5 hours playing. The time invested to rewards ratio is so different. This is gonna be like 0.001% of, I don't know, win percentage that I will get, and this one will be 0.001. So it's gonna be a lot more, although still insignificant, because chess is such a complicated game. However, do understand that stop thinking and start doing. That is the message that I want to get across. Do not overanalyze. It's alright to seek knowledge, it's perfectly fine. You should do that, but don't overcomplicate it, okay? Sometimes doing is way better than thinking. Perhaps another example, and then I'm gonna close the video because I really feel like it's getting redundant, okay? Again, let's talk about the leg press, which I believe is one of the easiest exercises to ever do. let's say that somebody, I don't know, looks for a leg press technique, and implying that there even is one, whatever, and they feel like that they want to understand how they should feel when they push with their legs, okay? And they're gonna look for videos and nobody's talking about it. They're gonna get frustrated. Yeah, but I do wanna know how to do that. And they don't realize that if they just jump on the machine and they press with their legs, they would have their answer. They should just push. However, they spend so much time and energy on something that doesn't even exist. So, I hope I got my message across. Maybe go learn chess, it is an amazing game. I suggest you check out Gotham Chess and Daniel Naroditsky. They are the two most educational chess YouTubers ever. I'm gonna leave their link, the channel down below, just in case you're interested. And that is it. Don't overanalyze and start doing.